The most action-packed octafinal, LaserGaming Agh against Dignitas Sjow. Map's going to be on Lost Temple. I think it's a very nice map for TVP for really both sides, because as long as you don't get those really close positions, both players are going to get the chance to expand a lot. You see a big variety of units, a lot of tanks and Thors eventually working their way into the mix. Obviously, dropships, Templar are going to be a lot of fun, so we will see what the starting positions will imply. And once Joe's computer is loading, it's loading all the way from Sweden, so of course we're going to give it a little bit of a break.
Take a little bit of time here, and of course some previous matchups. We did see In Control defeat Sin 3-1, and it looks like we have loaded up here, so let's hop into the game.
Looks like Dignitas Sjow is spawning in the left position as the blue Terran in the south spot. We have Agh spawning as the red Protoss, so this is going to be a nice opportunity to see a lot of drop and Banshee harass, and at the same time have Protoss get easier and easier expansions as the game progresses. And it looks like Dignitas asking for a pause of some sort. It looks like he has not yet done it, and there is the pause. So we are going to wait to see what exactly is going on.
As we have this nice command center in view. And the SCV is working so hard. So yes, Sjow is going to ask for 1 second. He paused, and I'm sure he'll give us, okay, ready, as the Kirby dance happens for Agh.
That's impressively fast dancing by LG.Agh, really showing us that he's both good with keyboard and Protoss. So it looks like Sjow is now throwing down his first supply depot. Always like that really nice, tight pylon and depot placement. Both players opting not to scout too fast either.
Nope, a pylon went down, and we see some Protoss players go ahead and scout off that 9 probe who builds the pylon, but not the case here. Additionally, one thing we saw from In Control, another Protoss who's played here in the EG Masters Cup, is that more economy-based build, as you mentioned, trying to get 15, 16 army before you actually put down that gateway. But he is going to go ahead and just put down a pretty typical 12 gate, while we have 12 barracks going down over on Sjow's side.
Looks like continuing to chrono boost. Now we have a probe making its way to the right side of the map. Looks like Agh will be scouting his opponent last, unless he does some sort of funky cross-map scout. Gas going down now for Sjow. No sort of 2 racks play. But Sjow has been well known to use a lot of Hellions in all of the matchups, so I'd love to see him do something like that today. Perhaps even a Blue Flame Hellion drop, one of my absolute favorite strats.
Yeah, I love Blue Flame Hellion drops. They're so awesome when they just get those big lines of workers. Very, very nice here. So we are going to see Agh scout one side and then scout both towers and move their way in. Now, if there was a scout coming out here by Sjow, he might be able to catch him on that second tower. However, there was not. We have no scout yet that has even gone over or attempted to find out where his opponent is at. So he's going to put down another supply depot. Meanwhile, Agh is going to see opponent's not here. Okay, I know exactly where he is, and he will turn around, make his way over. 1 Marine out already, but Marine might go out and scout.
And it looks like that second assimilator is down right now for Agh. This first Marine's making its way to this watchtower, and it's going to just miss the probe. Oh, whoopsie daisies. Looks like it immediately hightails it back to the base. Oh, there's another Marine there waiting, so it will be able to block off. There's the factory going down right now for Sjow. Poor little probe getting cornered and taken out. Agh completely in the dark. But we are seeing that he has some sort of tech-focused opening coming up, as he does have that very quick second gas.
Yeah, and he's also skipped the Zealot, bringing out a Stalker at the front. And we'll see what he drops down here next as he sends another probe out. And curious, could just be taking over the tower, likely what he's doing. Meanwhile, Sjow is just continuing to pump out Marines. There is the factory, and Tech Lab going down on the barracks. It is nearly done right there. And continuing to scout out. Here we go in the corner, Stargate on the far side over here.
I do like that Stargate tech. We just got the chance to see it in the last game and be very effective. There's a Hellion coming out, as well as Marauders. Looks like Sjow is preparing to do a pretty typical early game push, but I don't know how strong it's going to be against this mix of Void Rays and no doubt some Stalkers as well. Second probe gets taken out, and the scouting Hellion are going to begin advancing forward. It looks like Agh is going to pull back and try to block his ramp off, would be absolutely devastating if that Hellion didn't make it up to the top.
Oh, and the Zealot's about ready to pop, but it's not going to make it to the ramp in time. And actually, the Hellion's just going to stop right there, take a couple of shots at the Stalker, which is basically about the equivalent damage of just spitting on them. It might make them mad, but it's not going to actually hurt them. And meanwhile, whoa, what do we got going down right there?
Beacon coming up. He will not have enough gas to go for a fast mothership, so it looks like he's going for some sort of one-base carrier play, opting just to make Zealots at this point, but really, Zhow's build is designed to pick off any sort of greediness from the opponent. A lot of Hellions, Marauders, and Marines advancing forward could win right now with this push.
Yeah, we'll have to see how well he's going to be able to hold off this ramp right here. He moves the Zealot in on hold position, and he knows that he's got to move this army back. Not good. Do not believe he's got the units to support this.
Uh-oh.
Wow.
And there's Zhow happily lining up all of those probes. Warp Gate's now finishing. He's trying to swing around to the backside. Those Hellions are having so much fun against those probes. It looks like the Marauders and Marines are now falling, but Agh is really low on workers. The unit counting station, he has 17, but an amazing defense by Agh allows him to barely stay alive for now.
Yeah, and he did keep most of his workers, minus it looks like 2, on gas there. But here comes the Hellion back in the middle line. Not a good surround on that one. Tries to move in. Line back. Probes going down left and right. 5 kills, 6.
It's going to be getting more. There's a 7th and an 8th, perhaps. It does get in. There's the GG lull from Agh. His one-base carrier antics clearly not going to be able to take a win in this circumstance, but honestly, there's a lot of openings Terrans have been doing that are pretty passive. So.
But isn't this also exactly what we talked about in the best-of-5 situation? Knowing that, you know what, you can kind of go for something right out of the gate, maybe a bit unorthodox, maybe you just go standard, but you've got sort of this throwaway game that you can go ahead and throw out there. Not suggesting that you just try to do the most ridiculous thing to win a tournament, but if a player's trying to get a good read on what you're doing, how you play, studying your replays, etc., an opportunity exists there in a best-of-5 to pull something off like that.
Yeah.